What does Battle Creek mean to you?
Battle Creek to me is home. The people, the community, the church, it's home. It feels like home.
The quality that I can think of is the safety that Battle Creek provides, as everyone's always looking out for each other. That's why I wanted to raise my children here. It's a very small community, and like I said before, everyone always looks out for each other. So I know my kids will be safe.
It's a great place to raise kids, to have a family where their faith can be reinforced, where people care for each other, take care of each other when they need help. A small, tight knit community with big opportunities. Battle Creek is home.
There is the Redbud Building on Main Street, and you can see the stairs coming up on the one side there. That was the entrance to get up to the Opera House and the doctor's offices in their day and time. So my grandpa Don Prainer always made sure that we talked about history. And there's a lot of people that wouldn't know this, but how many things happened in that building prior to it becoming a hardware store. The original building was over 100 years old. A lot of the same structure is still in that same building, so that's pretty cool. But above the building, it was 2 levels, and there used to be stairs that went up the outside of the building.
On both sides of it.
They had what was called the Opera House in the top up there, and it was so ornate. Like the ceilings and the ceiling tiles were beautiful. The floor, the wooden floor that was up there it's huge. And it just kept making this big rectangle in wood that just got smaller and smaller until you met in the middle. They would have dances up there. They had theater plays up there. They would do movies. And then later on, they would have like bridal showers and things like that. And then for a while, there were doctors up there. If you look at the flooring up there, you can see where the dentist chair sat. We found an old x-ray up there when we were cleaning out. Just a lot of really amazing history in a building that's been standing for more than 100 years.
Why do you love teaching at Battle Creek?
Well, the most important thing for me is building relationships with the students and the parents.
And I think we have an awesome staff as well. I think that our staff really cares about kids. They kind of each go above and beyond to make sure that kids are getting what they need in order to be successful.
I think Battle Creek is excellent in both those categories. We have some of the best students in the state and definitely some of the best parents in the state too, which makes not only my job easy, but very exciting and very fun to do.
And I think when you have awesome students that enjoy coming to school, it makes your job as a teacher a little bit easier because the kids are feeding off of that energy and I'm feeding off that energy. So I think we have really fun kids to be around, really respectful kids to be around, and I think that between the students and the staff, it makes it a really enjoyable place to teach.
Well, the Yellow Banks, there's a long story in there. There's a guy that's Johnny the Hermit was his name. He was in Cumming County. He was actually the Cumming County treasurer. And you can read about this. He walked all the way from West Point to the Yellow Banks and found out that that's where he wants to live. And he did. But he walked all the way back with 75 cents. That's how much money there was in that. But there was a dance hall out there. That's a picture of the dance hall. I showed him a picture of where the driveway used to be that went to the park out there. They had the carousel. But in 1927, I believe, is when it opened. And there was 12 to 15,000 people there. Now, can you imagine that back in those days? Lenore she was through that. There's a carousel they had out, which is run by a steam engine with electric power. Every year when they'd have a 4th of July party, it drew people from all over. And in fact, they thought Lawrence Welk was out there at one time. It talks about rodeos, beauty pageants, they had stuff out there. You just have to read the story on that. It's very interesting. But a lot of people didn't know that. And what happened was it only was open for about 9-10 years, but then the 30s, that's when the Depression was, and it was dry, and people didn't have money to go there, and it just kind of folded up. The other thing is, it had the world's largest billboard, and it was 3/4 of a mile long.
When I was a kid, Fun Days was a huge carnival. It took up the whole main street, and all of our parents came, and they usually just hung out with us, and we would play games and go on rides, and we would just be there all night. And then we went through a little time period where we didn't get to have a carnival or any rides. And now that's gradually starting to come back, where they're bringing a lot more stuff in. And what I love about what they're doing now is they're bringing in all these crafts and boutiques and eating establishments and just making it a huge fun day. and the school gets involved, you know, FCCLA and the cheerleaders and the dance team, and everybody just comes together and does a little part and really makes it special for the kids.
Well, I've been in Battle Creek for 25 years and started dating my husband in college. So I'd always come back in the summers and we'd go up to BC Fun Days. Back then it was on Main Street. So it's kind of changed a little bit, but it's still that small town feel. Our favorite, my children's favorites, was always the parade. When it used to be in the middle of the summer, it was always nice to see those students, you know, on the fire trucks or on the REA trucks or just walking, grabbing the candy. So overall, I just really like that small town feel. We've really enjoyed the marketplace and the food trucks and of course the kickball tournaments. So it's just fun to come together, especially kind of like a back to school kickoff.
You know, I love taking in my son there and watching him kid a play, you know, and have kind of, you know, some of those childhood experiences that I did. And then another thing is the kickball tournament. I love that, you know, because, you know, like especially playing against some of, you know, like my own players, and they get to see me and us, you know, from like a coaching standpoint and being competitive as coaches, but then they get to see us as players there. And so that's a ton of fun, and especially when you are playing a team of all of your students and players and whatnot, and it's in the championship game, you know, and it's intense, whatever, and beating that sophomore class in the championship, that was a ton of fun.
Well, just some more memorabilia. They had things that were made up at the time, and decorative plates were always a big thing back in that era. But Battle Creek, founded June 13th, 1873, named for a battle never fought. July 8th, 1958, armed Indians met 200 soldiers at Battle Creek, ready to fight, when Chief Pedalashura, wrapped an American flag, advanced toward Governor Black and General Thayer, thus avoiding another bloody battle.
What are some of your favorite things about the community?
I think Battle Creek has had a strong community dating back to when we first started 150 years ago. And we've only built upon that and gotten bigger and better. There's a reason why people want to come to this school district. You know, we have a great community. We support our school system. We support our local businesses, which is very important. Being a part of this community myself as a kid and now as an adult has been something that I hold near and dear to my heart. So my roots are here. I'm pretty biased about Battle Creek, to be honest with you, but I think anybody that's ever lived here just for a short period of time would be pretty biased about the amazing things that we do here, not only in our school system, but in our community.
So I actually was born and raised in Battle Creek, and my wife was as well. So when we were deciding, once we got married, where we kind of wanted to lay our foundation, it was kind of an opportunity came open in Battle Creek, and we both know that what a special community this place is. You know, that the community cares deeply for its school, and the support that you get from them. I think that makes this place kind of a pretty unique place to be a part of. So I love the community because of the support that they give to the school.
Do you have any fun pep rally memories?
Oh, pep rallies were awesome back in the day. So Bob Snitchler gave amazing pep rallies. But I don't know. They were just, I don't know that there was a specific memory that I have that was, you know, better than the others, but they were just always fun. Like, we looked forward to it, and we always sang, you know, the Battle Creek song, and, you know, rallied for our class and stuff like that. And it was just a lot of fun.
What's one memory from elementary school that sticks in your mind?
When we had Dan Gillespie, he was called Dan the Tree Man. He would come in for 4th grade and show us everything about trees, how to grow them, and then we eventually grew our own.
Why is the community of Battle Creek so special to you?
I've been here my whole life, and I have noticed how in times of need, everyone just comes together. When I was a child, I experienced a house fire, and there were so many people that just came and brought food and gave us a place to stay. And we have a lot of kids in our family, so it was a big deal for our parents to find a safe place for us to stay, and the community helped there. And we've also been through floods and tornadoes and just almost anything you could imagine. And no matter what, the community comes together, they support and they supply whatever you need.
Why do you love the community of Battle Creek?
Everyone here is so wonderful. All the teachers that I work with, they're absolutely great to work with. The kids are wonderful. I love the kids, and it's just a good community to be in. And I really love everybody here.
What is one piece of advice you would give to this generation of Battle Creek Braves and Bravettes?
My piece of advice is high school is just a very small snip of your life. And I mean, I know we put so much into what's happening at this point in our life, especially when you're, you know, a junior and a senior and you're there and you just think it's everything. And then you get out into the world and you realize, like, hey, it was a great foundation. It was a great way to start me. It taught me things that I will cherish forever in my life. But just know that this is only a small portion of your life, and it's so much better, you know, having your own kids and watching them go to school it's just so much better than what you ever experienced.
Active.
Very friendly.
Community.
Good coaches.
Unity.
Pride.
Safe.
Successful.
Community and tradition.
Friendships.
Awesome.
Excellence.
Good kids.
Family.
Fun.
Community pride.
Tradition and impact.
Committed to excellence.
Good teachers. Fun.
Strong.
Brave.
Pride.
Wonderful. Welcoming.
Great students.
Battle Creek is a close-knit community.